From your local election headquarters, this is Big Country Politics on KTAB.
City Hall joined by Mayor Anthony Williams. Mayor, thank you for...
How are you doing?
Thank you for joining us
Glad
on
to
Big
be
Country
here.
Politics. Well, I just want to have a conversation with you.
Okay.
It's been a while since we've talked to you, and it's been about a year since you've
Almost a year.
Almost a year. So I want to talk to you about your first year as mayor here for the city of Abilene. And first of all, my first question for you is well, I just want to know, what surprised you most about being mayor in your first year, you think?
Well, I guess the biggest surprise, I spent 15 years on the council, so I wasn't ignorant of the role of the mayor or the council, but it is different being in the seat of the mayor. And so I thought at the time a good understanding, but I underestimated some things in the first year.
Well, and I want to talk about some of those things. I think one of the biggest issues right now, is probably street maintenance.
Yes,
correct?
Yes.
And we're going to deal with that,
Yes.
And we have been dealing with that. Tell us where that stands right now, as far as that goes.
So, and the history is this: for
Yes.
30 years, nothing was done in a comprehensive way for streets. There are 3 bonds, one in '98 for $11 million. It was a bond in '06 for about $19 million, and then a bond in '15 for $45 million. Say those 3 times, we've not addressed streets. And so the conversation we've had the last 18 months are, what could we do to put forth a comprehensive annual plan for street maintenance? And I was very pleased with the voters' affirmation in regards to street maintenance fee. And so we're going to put that in place. We're going to address our streets, and we're not going to, like a light switch, turn things on and next year our streets are taken care of, because it didn't occur in just a year.
Sure.
However, we do have a plan. We have an advisory committee made up of citizens. The council is engaged, and I think in the end we have an opportunity to deliver on the expectations of those who we serve.
Well, I think one of the questions when it comes to street maintenance is, how have other cities dealt with this? I mean, surely not through bonds.
Well, yeah.
every few
Well,
years.
I would say they have, and I would say if you
Really?
look at our sister cities, Midland just passed a bond for $100 million for streets this past November. Last year at this time, last May, Amarillo passed a bond for $100 million for streets. Right now, the cities of Lubbock and Odessa and San Angelo are looking at how we're addressing our streets, because the truth of it is, very few have taken care of streets. The president talks about a $7.5 trillion need for infrastructure, for streets. And so we just as a country have not, and that's not an excuse for Abilene, but there are very few that have taken care of streets because of the magnitude of what they represent financially.
Well, and I guess the idea behind this street maintenance fee is, like you said, to take care of this annually. This is an ongoing thing and not something that we could revisit every few years with a bond issue.
Yeah, and the difference with the street maintenance fee is that although there's a multi-year plan for the fee, it's approved every year. So unlike a bond, when you go out and levy a tax for the debt, this is no debt associated with this. And at any time we can tap the brakes. And what that does, it puts a higher level of accountability for staff and council. And because there is no debt, no interest associated with the money used, all the money collected is used for streets. So long term, it's an opportunity to, I think, enhance our stewardship with our infrastructure.
Again, speaking about street maintenance, and this is not going to be done overnight. This is not going to flip a switch and we're going to have money for it and they're going to go out and fix the streets. How do you prioritize what gets done once everything is in place?
That's excellent. One thing, and this is actually Councilman Hurt's idea that I and others support, we created an advisory committee composed of citizens. And so They're going to work with staff's recommendation. And by the way, it's equally divided north and south.
That was my next question.
You know,
Because how do you choose that?
yes. And so it's all sort of opportunities for us to engage as a council, the community with the advisory committee, and then of course staff. So in the end, I think it puts forth an opportunity to be very equitable in regards to how we address our streets.
And Mayor, this is a, when we come back, because I was just looking at the time, that was a quick segment, there's so much to talk to you about. I want to talk to you about one of the things that you talked about coming into office, inclusion.
Yes.
You want to get more people involved in city business and city council.
Yes.
And so when we come back on Big Country Politics, we're going to ask the mayor about that. We'll be back.